It's 480 BC. The sound of 300,000 Persian troops marching shakes the ground. Ahead of them, 300 Spartans stand tall, ready to do battle in the heat of the night. Now, you'd think being outnumbered 1,000 to 1, the Spartans stood no chance. But as you may know from the film, the brave 300 Spartan warriors fought night and day, holding back the never-ending bombardment of Persian troops and following their leader's plan to a T. The key to their combat was bravery, persistence, strategy and teamwork. In the current Destiny 2 PvP skill-based matchmaking landscape, the Persian army is represented by the never-ending bombardment of Luna's Howl, Not Forgotten, shotgun-wielding Erentil fanboys, and we, my friends, are the brave 300. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, my fellow Guardians, is to slay out in style against the meta-wielding shotgun sweatlords, aka the Persian army. And more importantly, I challenge you to have an awesome time while doing so. Well, how can this be achieved, you may ask? And to you, I say NDEs, Nuclear Dopamine Explosions. So, well, how can this so-called NDE be achieved in the current sweaty, skill-based matchmaking PvP environment? Good question, Godslayers. Cast your mind back to the first ever time you completed a public event, then the first ever heroic public event completion, then your first ever dungeon completion, and finally the first ever time you melted a raid boss. As you cast your mind back over these events, you may notice a pattern appearing. As you increase the challenge or difficulty of the task at hand, you also increase the dopamine release, the biological reward system we all have inbuilt within us that strongly influences player experience. Just to drive this point home, why not try running a Lost Sector now? Then go and try completing the new raid and assess which of these two events did you find the most enjoyable, which provided the biggest dopamine hit or the best player experience. So taking this logic forward to its natural conclusion and applying it to the current sweaty PvP skill-based matchmaking landscape of meta-wielding, not forgotten Duskrock Blues, never-ending bombardment that is the current state of affairs we find ourselves in, I say to you, Destiny Dream Team, choose a challenging non-meta loadout. Remember, more challenge or difficulty equals more reward. Just to be clear, when choosing your non-meta challenging loadout, you don't have to use bad weapons at all. Just make sure you don't use the stereotypical above aforementioned Sweatlord loadouts. Once geared up with your non-meta challenging loadout, it's time to activate your inner Spartan, load up the Spartan drive and apply some bravery, persistence, strategy and teamwork to your gaming sessions. And for those brave warriors who have the courage, honour and determination to stick with a game plan and finally manage to slay out against the meta-wielding, sweaty Persian heathen army and return home to Shaxx victorious, you, my friends, will be rewarded with a nuclear dopamine explosion, enabling you to increase the amount of enjoyment you experience within the game, improve your game sense, and most importantly, have an awesome time while slaying out in style in the current Destiny 2 Crucible sandbox. Now, I know that was a lot of information in a short amount of time, so let's take a brief recap. Skill-based matchmaking has resulted in a Persian heathen sweatlord army of Lord of Wolves, Erentil, shotgun-wielding fanboy sweatlords, and we, the Brave 300, will employ bravery, persistence, strategy and teamwork, combined with a non-meta loadout to make Shaxx proud, but more importantly to show these unbroken sweatlords that this is Sparta and we will not succumb to the sweaty PvP environment skill-based matchmaking has created, and last but by no means least, if done correctly, achieve the mother of all nuclear dopamine explosions. If you've lasted this long into the video, you're already displaying Spartan qualities of bravery and persistence. Your inner Spartan is guiding you to a higher path, the road less travelled, a new dawn, and together, my friends, we shall overcome this meta-wielding Persian heathen sweatlord army and reach Valhalla victorious. My name's Tricky and welcome to the channel. The following in-game montage hasn't been made to show off but more to inspire. I think it's fair to say when it comes to actual in-game PvP skill, I'm slightly below average. So if I can throw together the following montage in an afternoon and have an awesome time doing it, just think what you could achieve.
I'm was amazing! Zone A lost. You're breaking them. Gains the lead. Zone B captured. Zone advantage is yours. Have my respect, Hunter. Zone A captured. You. Minutes. Strength in numbers, Guardian. Excellent. Minutes. You're winning. Stay strong. Zone C captured.